A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today, we are going to talk with Chandrasekhar Sharma ji. Sir, a warm welcome to you, sir.
My pleasure.
On an important topic of Raj Yogs. We know Raj Yogs are made in various ways. So this is one of the Raj Yogs that we are going to talk about. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your comments and your suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do. And do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. Sir, so as we have been doing a series on Raj Yogs, we've seen the Raj Yogs from even debilitated planets. We have seen it from planets which are retrograde. What is it this Raj Yoga going to show us today?
This is a variation of the principles. I mean, once we understand the principles, it becomes really very easy to understand. It is talking about the importance of Vargottam Lagna, that is Vargottam ascendant, where the Rashi in the Lagna, that the ascendant itself, also happens to be the ascendant of the Navamsha chart, yes. The 9 chart as you call it. Or when moon is in Vargottama, that means whichever Rashi moon occupies, he also occupies the same Rashi in the Navamsha chart, that is the D9 chart. And then what can happen? We are aware that Parashara has said that if in ascendant, if an ascendant itself is aspected by all planets, then there is a Raja Yoga, isn't it? Here, the great Vaidyanath goes a step further and tells us something else again. What he is telling is there should be specific positions from where the aspect should happen. And then the question arises why it should happen, etc., etc., etc. And that is what we are going to look at. And we are also trying to understand why should there be a Raja Yoga. I mean, what is so great about it, isn't it? And I mean, you know, I always try to find out the reason behind the yoga, because yogas never repeat in the same way as they are told. In a chart, there would be many variations, etc., etc. So we have to understand what is happening. So what is said is, actually, sorry, I got a bit of throat issue. Vargottamash upagate vilagne chandre thava. That means if ascendant or moon are Vargottama, having both same rashis in the natal chart as well as the Navamsha chart. Chandra vimukta khete, the planets other than moon. Why he has said that will be very clear later on. Sukha, aspada, angana, gruha, upayotir, vilokite, manava nayakasya. That if planets for such an ascendant or such a moon, if planets in the 4th house, the 10th house and the 7th house aspect such a moon or such a Vargottam ascendant, then the person becomes leader of men. Now, leader of men is generally a term used for kings. So, it is a Raja Yoga. Now, what is the difference here? Here, he has given specific bhavas from which the aspect must happen. And amongst them, moon should not be there. Because, of course, if you are looking at it from moon, then moon cannot aspect itself. That is the difference. But in case of even the ascendant, he says moon should not aspect it. Other planets should aspect it. Now, from the 4th and 10th, it is not very difficult to understand that only Saturn from 4th and Mars from the 4th house, 10th house can aspect the Lagna.
Right.
Same thing with respect to moon also. Rest of the planets, including moon, but here moon is kept out, will aspect the ascendant.
Or from the 7th house, yes.
From the 7th house. So it is not as if, because see, Saturn can aspect also from the 11th house. Isn't it? Saturn can aspect from many places because he has 3 aspects. Mars also can aspect from many places. Once you start thinking about it, you know that if he is in the 6th house, he will still aspect the ascendant.
Right.
So these places are totally avoided.
Not
so this is A modification or a bit of strengthening of the yoga which is being talked about. So why the Vargottama? We know Chandra Lagna Shariram Syat Lagnam Syat Prana Sandhya. Moon is mind. So mind by itself can think, but may not be able to execute something. Whereas ascendant is body itself. It is the prana means the breath in a body. Having a body is fine unless it is breathing, it can't be. So this is what Chandra Calendar is. So what is said, because mind is fickle. So if moon is Vargottama, it would not be a fickle mind. Somebody who leads people cannot afford to have fickle mind. We see around us leaders who are fickle minded, never succeeding anywhere, rather losing whatever. Similarly, ascendant itself represents self confidence. One does have to have confidence to be able to lead people because they should go wherever you tell them to go. Then only you are a leader in the right sense. You might even ask them to jump in a river and they should jump. Then only you are a leader. Of course, you will also have to put yourself before them to get their respect. So if you want to do something which is dangerous, you must have self-confidence. One who doesn't have self-confidence will run away from problem. So he will not be accepted as leader. So basically, this has to be addressed. Why Vargottama? It is not all the way Parashara tells is a Vargottama or otherwise all planets aspecting the Lagna will get a create a Raja. Here there is a he is not denying Parashara, he is overriding it or giving additional conditions for it to occur
Be
with its
strong.
full intensity,
Force.
full
Yeah.
intensity. So what happens is, of course, Mars and Saturn can also aspect from the seventh. That is not denied. Preferably, all three must aspect. From all three houses, the aspect must be there. Why should it be there? Is the next thing which must strike us, isn't it? So you see, when Saturn is in the fourth house, it aspect the sixth house of enemies. Ability to destroy the enemies. Because if when you want to become leaders, so many people also want to be leaders. That is kings. So you have to be able to do that. It aspects the 10th house, which is also besides being lazy, it also indicates very hard work. So if you have to lead people, people should, at least if you are not doing it, at least you should be able to show that you are doing a lot of efforts in
Right.
order to gain their respect. And he aspects the Lagna, which is thought. Saturn has an ability to think deep. One cannot be a king if he is a thoughtless king, he will soon be deposed. And you must have heard about many kings who left their kingdom, etc., etc., check their chart. So this is the result. Same happens with the mind. What happens to the mind? Again, the same thing. That is why he says also moon.
Moon. Yeah.
Why moon should not aspect from seventh house on the ascendant remains a question. The reason is moon has a fickle tendency. In the seventh house, if he starts aspecting the Lagna,
Lagna.
the person might be fickle one, and his associates represented by seventh house would go on changing. So he would not have a
Firm
unstinted,
base.
support of people. And then he may not be king for a long time. Some people get kingdom or some position for some short time, and then they themselves are not either able to continue or they are not accepted by people. So this is the whole gamut of what happens with Mars. Mars aspect the Lagna, the ascendant, isn't it? So what happens? He should have temper. There is a saying in Hindi, but I put it in English, that a king must have temper.
Right.
Mothers must have a very soft heart. And woman must have a sense of shame. Then only the kingdom lasts. So he has to be active. Mars in the 10th house will give activity,
Yeah.
ability to lead, even fight.
And it becomes
Mars
Digbali
in the
there
10th can
also.
also give the defense services. They are talking of the time when the king had to grab his kingdom. Veera Bhogya Vasundhara, they say. Only the valorous
Will
can
inherit the.
enjoy the world. Means the kingdom or the authority to rule forever. Look, that Mars also aspects the fourth house. So he has to be away. Kingdom must be I mean, a king must expand his kingdom. If he doesn't, others will expand theirs and he will be annihilated. And he also aspects the fifth house. Here, besides temper, you will find that happening even in case of people with Mars intent to some extent or other. Uh, Mars also rules logical thinking because in the earlier days, extreme sorry, kings had also to act as judges, and a judge who doesn't think logically can end up doing things wrong,
Blunders.
and then nobody will respect them.
Hmm.
So this is the whole gamut of this thing. That's why it's beautifully done up. You keep Mars in the sixth house, he has gone weak. He will be aspecting the 12th house, wanting to perhaps go to distant land, even fight with his father because Mars from sixth will be aspecting the ninth house. So this is the entire gamut of thing. Why he has said only from these three places, nowhere else,
Yes.
isn't it? Uh, Mars from 11th can't aspect the sixth. I mean, can aspect the sixth house, but would not be able to aspect the ascendant. So
Right, sir.
11th house is out. Saturn there will aspect the eighth house, so he might be a bit of negative thinker or have health issues, etc., breathing issues. So this is all taken into consideration to form a very specific yoga where he says it has to be Vargottam, so that strength of character has to be there. The mind should be absolutely undisturbed, even under enormous pressure. When in case of moon, or he must have great self-confidence, people should respect him. And that is how he becomes leader of the men, which translates into a Raja Yoga.
Beautiful, sir. So we see that malefics in Kendras actually give Raj. So for those who have
Absolutely.
malefics in Kendras, they need not worry. It's your, and if you have a Vargottam Lagna, that means it's your ticket to success, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, because you see, when Lagna is Vargottam, all bhavas become Vargottam.
Yes, sir.
So it becomes a very powerful chart.
Thank you so much, sir, for breaking our false notion that malefics cannot give us Raju. Thank you
No,
so much.
rather, malefics will always give Raj Yoga. They have got the energy. And
Thank you.
action is from the square, so you can understand what happened.
Thank you. So, till we meet again, do write to us. Let us know how you found this video. And if this combination is in your chart, see how far you have fared in your life. Thank you so much.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.